Thank you so much for staying to this channel. If you just joined us, this is TMI. You can call it this morning on ITV, and definitely you'll be right on point. On the discussion segment, we're talking about the state of the nation ahead of the general elections. That is what we really want to dwell on this particular discussion. Don't forget, we have less than, let's say, 40 days. Yes, if I'm making a mistake, maybe barely 40 days or 3 days. It all depends to the general elections, and people are like, talking more about this. Less than 40 days. Have you gotten your PVC? Less than 40 days. Have you checked to know the unit, the word, your name appeared? Yeah, it's very, very important. Well, with me here in the studio to talk about this, I get to hear put food on the table. You will not hear about all these things happening. Yeah, go on the voice of the masses. Join me to welcome Osaho Okoro Obaraye. Welcome to TMI.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, belated birthday and all that, I couldn't really show up, but anyhow, no, it was a blast. It was a blast.
Thank you.
Okay, now state of the nation ahead of the election. Let's zoom in on the security aspect of it first before we dive into the economy. There seems to be an increase in disturbances here, and then we talk about security situation. You get to hear about kidnapping in the north, in the south, in the east, the west. You get to hear about disturbances here and there. Though the military, the Joint Security Task Force, the JT, if you just name it, they've recorded some big wins, but it's like Nigerians are still not satisfied with this. Obaraye, take it up from there.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think the truth must be told that for the very just now, and not also now, for over 15 years now, Nigeria has been experiencing kidnapping, insecurity in one way or the other. But the truth must also be told is that it has eaten deep into the Nigeria system that it's also something that's not going to be very easy to also eliminate. Because most of these kidnappers now, they've also gotten a way and a device to also get out of the system. And so also the people that are also in the communities where this kidnapping is also taking place are also in one way involved. I gave you a scenario of, I think a year or two ago, when the wife of a friend was kidnapped, and after about 3-4 days negotiation, they said we should submit the money at 7 Up, close to your place here. And as we got to 7 Up, without citing them, they started monitoring us to tell you, drive there, drive here. And we drove down to one of those villages before Ondo. And there was a very, very high security checkpoint in that area. And about 4, 5, 6 posts from that place was where this issue was taking place. I think in the same society, you would have expected that since we have a very high power security, whatever should have happened there should be a very long space. So it also goes to show that it's like the yam and oil issue, where either you cannot take this one away from this. Because if truly that the EDGs and the security network that is also involved in the security alliance in the Nigerian people, if they are not involved in the system, I think it has to be eliminated. We can also shy away from the truth either when we try to eliminate these people, not to also talk about failure in the leadership. If you have failure in the leadership, these things are bound to happen, to occur. Here you have a government that is unserious with the security and life of its citizens. This is what we are expected to happen. Well, I think there is better hope and better life way forward for Nigeria.
All right, now if you take a look at the Edo State scenario, talking about the train station at Igwebe, kudos to the government of the day. All kidnapped passengers have been accounted for. We get to realize that some persons are arrested in connection with the kidnap are from that community. Take it up from there.
That's what I just also told you. I give you a scenario that if the community, the indigenes in that community, they don't kidnap people and put them in the sky, neither kidnap them and put them here. If you kidnap someone and put that person inside the river belongs to a community. If you kidnap somebody and put the person in an completed building belongs to a community. And you cannot tell me now that there's a place in Nigeria that you can just say, you just go there and say, this is your own place. People are already aware of every space of land here in Nigeria to say, this community is the owner, this person is the owner, government is the owner. So if it's being placed on government issue, I'm sure the government should also know what is going on there. So without the collaboration of the indigenes of a community, as it were, there's no way issues like that can happen. And let me also give you a very, very tactical example. If I stay in a community, if I decide to run in this area we are now, I'm going to ask questions to say, oh God, please, where does this road lead to? Yeah. But that same me that was asking questions at Ugbo, if you close my eyes at Ogogo Street, close my eyes at a community, I can navigate my way through to say this is a road here without asking questions. So it goes to show that if I also want to kidnap somebody and bring the person to Ugbo, I'll be in dead crisis because I don't know where and how the road belongs. But if I place you, Wisdom or Marshal, in a place called there, in my place I'm sure before anybody passes through the left, I already know that is that I go through the front or the back. So the indigenous of that various communities where these things are happening, in one way you're involved. Let us also give a scenario. Sometimes last year, when the governor was on leave and the deputy governor was in charge, and the kidnapping issue was on day-to-day at the Auchi environment.
Axis, yes.
Yeah. And the deputy governor came out, and it was blunt on it to say, if we hear about kidnapping in your community again, the traditional ruler is there.
We'll go for it.
We'll go for it. And Wilson, before you could say Jacobison, that period, everything about that area died down. That period, you saw traditional rulers, indigenous mobilizing to clear their various roads. And if statements like that were now stabilized and maybe inputted into our constitution, I'm sure if the deputy governor gave that as a remark, and within a month or two, there was seizure in kidnapping in that environment. Let's also think if it was now modified into a law to say if so thing happened in that community, since Wisdom Marshal is the head of that community, he will be held responsible. Yeah. I'm sure that Wisdom Marshal will not sleep because they into it, you are going to also bring out your own machineries that will help you navigate to say you guide zone A, you be in zone B. You are going to not be not just waiting to say government. No. Government cannot even secure themselves. Want to talk about your own environment. If the convoy of the presidency was attacked, the convoy of various governors, just that of Kwara State now is breaking news a few days ago. So talk about individual like me and you. So if we see and we say something, I'm sure these things will go down. Right. People are scared just to say if I say. But you also remember that if you say and you don't say, same thing will also happen to you. So we must all keep, because the policeman, if a policeman that was born and bred in Lagos State, he has been serving there for let's say 10 years, and he was born there, transferred to Edo State, Oredo to be precise. I'm sure if you don't transfer him to somewhere like New Benin, and there is something happening at Ogogo Street, Isiwa, Bello Saige, he's going to ask questions if he comes. But if the policeman, I always a policeman, and I'm transferred to New Benin, and something's happening at Victory Costain, if I block Gwabadia and block New Road, that is the end of those captives. Because I was born there and understand the terrain. Yeah. So security is not for a man that is in Abuja. Neither a man that is at Osadebe way. Security is for people living amongst themselves to say, We must guide ourselves. I remember when we were growing up, when people were busy from window to window stealing. And we tried to come out in groups to say we want to start vigilante. It was like fun all through not to sleep. But at the end of the day, it's a situation because if you are coming and you hear people making noise, it's not a film, even if you are going to bomb yourself, because you don't even know, for people not to sleep at night, they might also be armed.
Okay.
So security is about those living amongst, just a tip of the iceberg from people in Abuja to put food on their table to secure their selves, because you cannot also be hungry to secure yourself. Are you getting it now?
All right. Oh, now you just hold on, because I was going through the report because I was privy to, like, go through the comments and, of course, the letters of the Honorable Commissioner of Information, giving us updates on what is really happening about a particular security situation at Igwem. I was so shocked to discover that it was alleged that traditional ruler also was interrogated, was called upon to give an account. Some said he was detained, others said he was just called upon to give an account. People are asking, how come the communities are not getting involved in this kind of a dastardly act? Not all of them, some of them are involved in it, and how it's going to impact in the forthcoming election. But not to worry, we want to go for a break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion. Is the state of the nation ahead of the general elections? Don't go away.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Roads are not safe and flights are expensive. Putting all these things into consideration, I may not want to travel and participate, and it reduces the tendency of certain people winning in certain areas, because this election now, everybody wants to prove that where they come from has the numbers to win the election, for both presidential and state elections, national elections and state elections. So with the high rate of insecurity, it would actually reduce the rate at which people will want to show that show.
Now, all right, now, Obaye, as a grassroots man, has anyone you come across complained about the security situation that you may not come out to vote on that particular day due to what is going on?
No, sir. It's not going to affect it from the way you are emphasizing it. The reason is because right from time immemorial, there have never been 100% security in our state of state. At the, you can say it for the very just now. I think in the last election, we had over 2 to 3 million votes from the security dense, unstable Bono. We also had vote from the southeast, citing a case of the Anambra state election where the security situation was dense before the governorship election. Yeah, it was so tense that kidnapping and maiming was nearly on daily basis. But when the election came, I'm sure you are aware that it was as peaceful as anything, citing that case. Also going back to where I already told you when I was depositing that it's already a business type of game. It's just like the people that deal on drug business, as serious as the present NDLA #1, Baba Muwa. I'm sure you are very aware that the issue of drug buys is now very, very lucrative, and the people that are now in it are more than those that will need before. When you see somebody smoking drug, you will see that the person should be of a retirement age. But now, as I tell you, the young people that are into nicotine, into loud, into Morocco, into the other one, adrenaline, that they are might be that reddish, bluish, or greenish, yeah, the case may be. It's small. So I'm going to tell you that we've never had it to say there's no, it's peaceful. Are you getting it? So what I'm also letting you know.
Are you not saying that during the election to be peaceful, all this will not be an issue?
No, you can take my word to the bank. And the 2023 election that is coming in the next 40, 39 days, it's going to be very, very peaceful. Let me tell you, that's just the truth. The reason is because the people are involved. Whosoever is not also happy with the security system want change. Whosoever that is happy with the security system also either want his own to be stabilized. Also, everybody is going to be on their foot on that day. I get it. Even if we are going to have security, it's going to be skirmish because on that day you have police. Nigeria is going to be policed in the air, the land, and the sea. Are you getting it now? And you that is also a kidnapper, you don't want to lose your life. The police is also going to guard on that, you don't want to lose your life. So it's going to be bumper to bumper, closure to closure. Because also the people are going to come out.
Right.
The people are going to come out. The place where security is not sure is where you have maybe me and Wisi or Marshall walking down the street. But we have about 50-something people, for some people moving down the street. Whosoever want to come, we know that even if we don't have anything, people are hungry. People want to participate. And also know that election for the very just now, the participatory system is very high side.
Right.
Because I'm sure that the word PVC now is even now known to a crawling toddler. Are you getting it now? Or like before, when people will ask you what is PVC. Okay. But for now, people are with their PVC.
Okay. Emmanuel, he said that on that age will be peaceful because everybody wants to get involved. Do you agree to his comment?
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, I think that's what is going to make it peaceful because people are involved. When there's numbers, those criminals tend to withdraw. But even the so-called criminals at this point want to be involved to make sure that, oh, my candidate, actually, this candidate, I believe in a better Nigeria and this is what I want. Because I've spoken with a few during this campaign.
A few criminals.
Yes, I call them a lot of political talks because we know them. We should not deceive ourselves.
All right.
But at the same time, some states, for example, from my own observation, like Edo State and Lagos State, election would never be peaceful. It's not possible. It has never been peaceful in my area in Lagos.
Why would you say so?
It's fact because during election day, even I think the last election, MC Oluomo was shot, the head of Agbero in Lagos, NURTW chairperson. In Lagos, there are some polling units where if they know an opposition party is going to win that place, the talks will carry gun and go and scatter that place. Now, looking at the election somewhere in Edo State, the House of Rep and the senatorial candidate of some parties are way stronger than the House of Rep and senatorial candidate of other parties, which, as it stands, their presidential candidate might not win, and their elections are tied together. So what will happen is that their boys, if they look at, oh, I'm losing my polling for my Oga, I must deliver for my Oga, they might decide to scatter it. Once you see gone, I don't think the number, everybody will disappear. And citing with the Anambra State election, I think that election was so poor. If we have to be honest, the turnout was very, very poor. Anambra State election. That day is going to be peaceful, yes. Normally, every election, there is this tension, and everywhere the pressure is, as in the insecurity pressure is usually much because even build up to the election, there are people that will be killed, assassinated. You argue this, you argue that. I saw a video of recent of somebody putting on the polo of a presidential candidate, and the guys were asking him, "What has this politician done for you?" That they don't want to see anybody putting on any politician's tag or anything. Nipop area. So they attacked the guy, and I'm not sure they killed the guy, but they won the guy.
They won the guy, yeah.
But there are places where they will kill for saying you wear face cap of this candidate or that candidate. The tension is there. But that day of the election, people will turn out. Even at some places they will withdraw. But Anambra State election, you want to use that as a case study. It shows that the voters turn out to be very poor because Anambra State, some polling units were 20-something persons. I don't think there's any polling unit in Nigeria where the number of registered voters there are no more than 200. But in Anambra election 20, so I don't think there was any polling that was up to 100, if I'm not mistaken. So we can't. We pray that we don't get to that situation. But if we get to that situation, I trust our security personnel and President Muhammadu Buhari. I think he wants to make a statement to this election, and I think he will deliver.
He will deliver. All right. Now he said the number of electorates might be affected because of what we're going through. He said it will be very, very poor. He gave an example of Anambra State election, talking about voters apathy due to the activities of IPOB and insecurity that's prevalence in that particular region. Do you see it taking place in this election, reduction in electorates coming out to participate in the election?
Yeah, I do see reduction in electorates coming out to participate in the election.
Yeah.
Primarily because even if on that day there is no security threat, prior to that day there will be security threats in different parts.
How are you sure of that?
Well, we've seen it on several occasions,
Yeah.
and if people have seen reasons prior to that day not to come out, they won't come out. Within by December last year, 2022, Nigeria recorded 52 cases of inter and intra-party violence across the country, and this was a statement given by the Chief Security Advisor, Babangana
Montgomery has retired, yeah.
Yes, yes. Even after Buhari gave the order that security chiefs and the rest should get up and handle the security situation of the country, we are still seeing that things are still happening. And the threat might increase, it might decrease, depending on if God intervenes.
Various factors or divinity.
Yes.
Okay, well, Obaraye, we'll drop so much on security right now. I want to delve into another issue, states of the nation, because of what they are saying. NSCDC, the Nigerian police, the Nigerian military, soldier, navy, air force, they say they are coming now to make sure that the election's peaceful, no matter what is happening. For Borno State Governor, they are 90% sure of security. That means somewhere along the line, somehow, we pray that all will be peaceful. Now, economic situation of the country. People of the opinion that since elections, fast approaching, the economy should have been getting better. But reports has it that somewhere along the line, the people are still feeling the pang of economic downturn. I mean, what do they say about this?
Yeah, thank you so much. Before I descend on the first and also ascend on this new one,
Yes.
I want to also let my brother know that we that participate in a dual election, I want to let him know that a dual election has been peaceful. A dual election will be peaceful. A dual election must be peaceful. What happens in the election is just like Christmas is coming. They come, and the next thing you see it doing oblivion. We've seen the shakers and movers of the political firmament in Edo moving, and the other people moving, and nothing happened. Everything for the reason is because nobody really, the person you see is the master of the game or is the hardest shooter in the game cannot do it in a place where he does not know the way. I cannot go to Lagos, so and say I want to go and do whatever I want to do and run away. Are you getting it? So it will be peaceful. On the issue of the economic system has never been what you will come here to nod your head to say it is good. Even when we were buying up my favorite food for 20, 10 naira, 5 naira, we said it was extremely expensive. Now we are buying at 50 naira, we are shouting it's very expensive. Now we are also going to buy it for 100 and we're shouting expensive. So the entire economic system has been in disarray. But the truth must be told, when you have failure in leadership, just the way I told you, you can also have it going down same. Citing the case of the fuel issue that happened 2-3 weeks ago, I traveled to Asaba during the week, and as I was going, I bought fuel at airport to fill my tank at 280 naira. And I drove to Asaba and get to Ibuzo, where I wanted to finish what I was doing at Ibuzo. It will suffice you to know that the filling station close to where I was selling at 170 naira. 170 naira.
At Asaba?
170 naira.
Okay.
170 naira. So I quickly again topped my tank because I saw it is cheaper even when I still had fuel. I now bought. I didn't for risk factor. I didn't buy in gallon, and I drove back to Benin. On getting to Benin, where I bought for 280, for me to buy for my generator, it was now 290 naira. Is this one government? I bought something for you, Wisin, embarked on a journey, got to where I was going, insane Nigeria. What I bought for even lesser than NAPC. I topped my. Then I came back to say, I don't want to buy in gallon for the journey. Let me buy for that of my generator close home because this one is close to my place. The person that sold for me 280 in the morning was now selling 290 in the evening. am I going to blame Buhari? Did I blame Obaseki to say he is the one regulating this set price? My blame to them is modalities are not in place to checkmate prices. Also, let's go to the case of even as low as vegetable. If you bring vegetable, a bododo, as the case may, I should call it whatever, from Ogada or Igwebe, as the case may be, put it in New Benin market. They will tell you, listen, how much is that vegetable? The market cabal will buy it from you and give it their own price. If you don't agree, they will make sure your vegetable is of no use. Are we not also going to blame the government? But if you ask the woman will tell you, now Buhari, now make this fish dey dear. But if you leave and go to the other place, you will see it lesser and even better. So you can also see in our own little way. I was talking to my friend yesterday, Alice Oyosa. Just where we gather as friends to say, let's conduct election. So people are already forming cabal. So people are already telling you to say, you cannot go with your master. You want to go for the position of vice president. Step down. I want another person that will go. In an own little way. You are already doing imposement. But when you hear it from Buhari or Obaseki, you will start to say, bad government, in your own little way, in your own closet. What are you doing to make sure things are done right? You will buy a phone. You know that this phone you bought it for 30,000. You want to sell, you will sell for 80,000. They will ask you, say road no good. They will ask you, say light no day. Is that why you want to do times 10 when you know that people that want to buy it are not buying it from moon? So we must tell ourselves the truth. In our own little facet, what are we doing?
So you're saying it's not all about the president?
No, don't let us shy away from the truth. When the president shared money to governors, was I there? I was not there now. Did my governor come to tell me at a town hall or somewhere to say, President Buhari has giving us money? Oh, nobody told you. When we came out said that you people are telling me that the money I'm using is for moon, help me thank Buhari that since 1999, all the money that was held for the South State, he has paid it to us. Mine was so billions. And that's why you see that I'm doing flyover, doing this and doing that. Other governors started saying, no, how did you get to what we said? Did you tell me before at all? When Buhari also filled all those places at Medical Stores Road, Ugbo was different places with Indomie, food stuff, for donkey years. Did you tell me there were food there? When hunger was? If you flood those things Buhari brought to the market, I'm sure the other people that are blowing their emission road, we know that government is serious. They will also bring their own price drastically down. You didn't tell us. But when hunger came and we tried to start finding food, when we now saw it, are we now going to also blame Buhari that he did not bring? So there are things we need to also start telling ourselves. If we don't also say it, all of us keep complaining about bad government. If you are going on the way, you buy gala, you tear it, you throw it on the road, that government has used the money to spoil, it will block the road, it will spoil the road. 24 people are doing street carnival. You put tire, you put it on the street, that government has done, it will burn. Then from there, the pothole will start. There is government that is doing that. So if we don't also start doing things and coordinate ourselves, to say, if somebody can tell his own fellow classmate, to say, my brother, this position you want to contest is not vacant, I want to give it to another person, in a position that they don't pay people. Then tomorrow, that person will write, let it talk, to say, President Buhari is a failure, he has not done this. You are categorizing somebody that you, in your own little way, is already sinful of. You guys say, lecturer that will collect bribe for students, or ask for sex to say you must before you pass your exam. Tomorrow you will say government I only ask you, government is only ask you. Do you also know maybe because of your sin of what you are doing in the closet that people are not seeing that God is not using government to suffer you? But you keep complaining.
I right.
So if we don't do things right,
yes,
in our only two way,
yes,
government is just one or two people telling to us to say lead us. If all of us do things right, in China, it is forbidden to do this wrong.
But I hope you are not saying this because you're a member of the APC. No, I'm saying it because
when last we did discuss about party.
Good.
No.
Good. There's a reason. I will come back to you. I'll come back to you. Emmanuel, you heard it because he gave strong points. And many cannot dispute the points he raised. That this is what is happening economically speaking. People are saying that the presidency, the party, APC is the worst, governments for Nigerians and for Nigeria. But you heard the point he raised. That Mr. President, and of course, essentially to the party, they are not totally responsible for this, that we are all involved in this economic situation ahead of the election. Take it up from there, Emmanuel.
I want to start by saying this. A lot of people are saying they don't want the two ruling parties. One of the major reasons is not because, for people in the South, it's not because of insecurity. It's because of the economic hardship on the masses. Everything he said is very, very, very correct. Now, we blame the presidency. I think we're on radio, on air or sometime on radio. That should be about a month ago. Where we spoke about the effect of who is to be blamed. The presidency at the federal level or the state government at the state level for the hardship on Nigerians or the masses. We said everybody is at fault. Now, the presidency, let's be honest with ourselves, they are afraid hopefully. Now let's take it to the state level. The state government too, I don't know, you take tax, okay, you can't fix this Ugbawa road. For example, we said that this Ugbawa road has caused terrible hardship on Nigeria, on Edo people moving down this route. But you take tax from bus drivers plowing this road, but you can't fix the road because it's a federal road. So I think you should not take taxes from bus drivers plowing the federal road. Because the money, you can't fix the road. The money you take from tax, I think you are supposed to use it to fix the infrastructures of the state, which that road, I think, they are also passing through. Now, individual level, Nigerians, we are very greedy. I think the corruption, the greed among Nigerians, I don't know how to quantify it. You talk to a 10-year-old child, you want to buy this, and the child will have the own or his own small thing on top. We tell you, by the time you catch the child, he's saying so that you go price them down now. I wanted to buy something some days ago. I said, how much for this? The mother said the child knows the price. The child called about 1,000 naira for me. I said, madam, how much for this thing? The mama said 700. They look at the boy started laughing. I said, like, you don't start to be a thief at this young age. Now, it's something that has come down to, even down to the market women. Everybody, madam, this thing took us, so they will say, nah, Buhari cost her. Okay, a day to New Year, I bought fowl somewhere. At Uselu market, I bought fowl for 19,000 naira for a fowl. That same size of fowl. After New Year, 3 days later, I went to buy two. I bought that same size of fowl, 9,000 naira. What happened between 3 days? When I was trying to buy before New Year, they were telling me the cost of fowl feed. 2 days after New Year, as in the cost of fowl feed, the feed you use to feed the cow within 2 days. The thing drop. So I don't understand where the greed is coming from. Now, fuel, for example, is 285 naira in most places. It may be 290, some places 300. You go to other states, you see it at 170. Now they will tell you that where Benin marketers get fuel from is not close at the place where they shut it down on one story or the other. That they have to go as far as Lagos to bring fuel to Benin. Now, okay, you are even selling this thing very expensive. It's still not even available. You will still have to queue for hours. Sometimes they will be the style for you for your own money where you want to pay. Whereas if you travel to other places, you see this thing at 170. They will blame the government. I think I saw somewhere that Buhari has approved 195 naira
for the fuel pump price.
For fuel pump price, so that they can allow fuel to be available everywhere. But before then, why is it that every little thing the masses take it to them? Now, where the government is also at fault is that there is no proper regulatory persons involved in this, because many of these people who own this filling station are politicians themselves. So you can't go and close even some of the, I think I heard of somebody in this state government who has many filling stations even in this Benin. I'm not so sure among the executive. He's a member of the executive. He has filling station. His own filling station is selling at 290. So I think the deputy governor also has filling station. His own filling station is selling how much? So do we want to close it? With the state governor order the closure of the filling station of the deputy governor? Let's be honest with ourselves. So this whole system, in as much as we will blame the masses, we will also blame the government, because the government has shown that it can be trusted.
All right, I will come back to you. People will be like, well, it's not about trust, that they can trust the government in some area, like what Obaraye said. He gave even examples, and many will truly concur with what he said. Some are saying that get your PVC to punish the government of the day for the hardship we are going to. Let's bring it to politics rather, because the election is fast approaching. To punish the government of the day, because since they've been in power, things according to them they're going from bad to worse, take us back to the old days. That's what many people are like, saying. But do you think that economic realities right now is going to influence the pattern, the party, the personalities of these electorates, Emanuela?
To an extent, I think it's a 50-50 situation.
50-50?
Yes.
All right.
Well, why I say so is because human beings, our daily decisions are influenced by different things. Today, I might be all agitated that, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. And then somebody comes to me and say, okay, take this thing, do this thing like this. And this thing this person is offering you is going to help your current situation. You get that kind of vibe. I might end up changing my mind about how I'm going to approach the situation at hand. That's why I say it's a 50-50 thing. And getting the PVC is actually something that can actually give us a better Nigeria. Voting is one thing. Our votes being collated in the actual numbers is another thing. You get that kind of vibe. And we've seen situations, I think mostly in state elections, where a candidate wins the election and then there's a court case, and after a while, another person is being given the position that this person won. I think Delta State is a perfect example during the Udmara and Ogboru election. You get that can also happen again, and if something like that should happen again, I don't think Nigerians would actually want to participate again or something. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Now, zooming it into party politics and what the electorate will say. Like the question I asked Emanuela, talking about punishing the government of the day because of what they've been through. They're going to vote for another person, another party. Do you see Nigerians electorate thinking along this line?
If you watch, Emanuela already gave a base of it. Just what we would need to put now is a foundation to later. She has told you, electorate has a big weight, but who go to tell the electorate is another big thing too. You are aware that you don't just win a presidential election from the presidency, you win it from the unit. I also Obaraye, my unit is unit 7. Unit 8 was 7 over the local government. So if I don't win my unit, there is no way I can win my center, which is SCG. There is no way which I can win my local government, which is Oredo. There is no way which I can win my senatorial district, which is Edo South Senatorial District. There will be no way I can win my state election, which is Edo State. So we navigate it step by step. If you don't go to your unit to decide to say, a few days ago we did our unit to unit campaign, yeah. And what we did was operation. We were told, and just 8-9 in the evening we were called to say tomorrow morning come with members of your unit. And in each unit we have a structure of over 32 persons with positions. You have the unit head, you have the deputy unit head, you have the unit leader, unit like that. So it's about 26 to 28. This is on its own is already electorate who are going that day to tell Emanuela, Auntie, come. Emanuela is going to come there, and the signature of us eyes is going to sit down. At the end of the day, too, Emanuela can go in, so experienced, so brilliant, and you give her the 3 House of Rep, Presidency, and House of Senate. and Emmanuel will be confused. And that market woman that sells tomatoes that have been politically inclined way back, we pick it up without anybody showing it to her and do it right. Marking it well, not passing through the line, not putting on the logo. She will tell you she voted for a rep ticket on this one, she voted for a senior ticket on this, and she voted on a senior ticket on this. Emmanuel are coming in to do selfie, to watch it, might put it on the logo and say she has voted for, not reading that this is for presidency. This is. It's experience type of thing. I get it now. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Emanuela discussing and telling us all, not knowing that our vote, that she screamed all about, that she did selfie all about, null and void. That market woman that you gave chance to, that is smelling, that you say you don't know how to do anything, we come in and say, they say that this one for a rep, that be that brother will give us much more money than the joint market. She'll put it right. This one I be for Senate. That this brother say go give us sewing machine if you win. She'll put it there. This one, she'll put it there and submit, not touching it. She does it the way she has been told and following up. So even when we are discussing we should also teach people how to vote. Getting your PVC is one of the sweetest things you can hear. Knowing how to vote is the hardest because it's an exam where you go, nobody is there with you. And secondly, those people you are saying, has the thick skin to wait. 10 o'clock, they don't eat. They prepare themselves for it. Just the way Jehovah will prepare to preach door to door. When they leave home that morning, they decide not to come back until it is over. Emanuela, that knows everything on the cyberspace, we go there 8 o'clock, 9. By 11, she's fagged out. She's famished. She's already finding herself to say, what about nonsense is this? That woman you see, we sit down with the children. They will come, not worry, my people will not go anywhere. She will not leave to go and watch Telemundo and say, if they come, Mona call me. As he's watching it, they will come. They will vote and they will end it by 2. By 4, she's coming to ask, but you don't call me again. Our vote has been voided. So election is not rhetoric, it's participation.
So you're saying the coming solution will not count. Is that what you're saying, right?
No, let me tell you. Let me also give you a scenario that you can go to bank with. Each unit, about, let's say, depending on the unit, 150, 200.
Yeah.
Before in our Ward 7, we had 30 units. Now when we did the screening, they are now noticing that we have 62 to 67 units in a ward. And some ward, we already have, some unit we had 5, we had 10, just this new unit that was created. On that day too, when they come, if you have 100 people in that unit that comes to vote on that day, we never had an election in Edo that was over 1 million. So 1 million people came out. 600, 700, that is the benchmark. So maybe this one we will hit it a little, but what people want to just scare you is PVC has been collected to 500,000. 500,000 PVC collected. Election in that unit will not be 150,000. It's impossible. Because people just collect it to say, maybe for job matter. Yeah. So those of us that keep it where we keep our land documents, that don't joke with it, are few. When those go there, they don't ask. They know who to vote for. The likes of the new Madonna that is coming will be taught how to vote on that day. Even if the one you be seeing on television is different, it's a different ballgame. Because when they give it to you and in your closet, the line is tensed up. You are already saying, but that come on, they won't come now. With the tension, you are sweating, you are tired. So few. Why 50% that are coming, the first question they ask, 50%, they don't shout, they come. Their PVC, they hold it in their hand. But that good morning, yeah, good morning, madam. How are you? Which one they say they share money? Okay. we see when I say that side though. How much that but that they share should come? But that good morning, they say they share money. How much? Madam, na 3,000. No. My pikin say, wow, they share 4,000. Go say, go stand at the other side. She would not go. But that good morning, I don't come. That's why they share 4,000. You say, hey, we they share 4,000 and wait. As she sit down, that woman will come. You say, what you put in here? 5,000 of the back, then they share for back of school. She will just leave there, whoa.
So you are saying nothing about the economy, nothing
I
about...
say 50%, 50% that are coming.
Wow.
20% are like Ibadan that want to learn. 30% are not the people that have been doing that structure issue. They are 30%, they are not more. Those people's work that is also start canvassing. They have canvassers that will come and tell Ibadan, they know that is their job. So politics is on structure issue down to the beneath. All right. Their job is canvassing.
Canvassing.
Yes.
Okay, Obere, I will come back to you. Emmanuel, you are on the field. You give a practical example of what people will experience on that day. Is it others that are claiming about bad economy, this, that may not really count? He talked about 50% of the electors coming out to vote is what they will have in their tummy. Take it up from there.
I agree with him. I can even say 60%.
60%?
Because in 2019, my own polling unit in Okede Robowari,
yes,
my own polling unit was the only unit PDP won in that place, in that town hall. I can say it categorically because of what people like us did there. My own polling unit. When we say elections on federal level, some people might not understand. But I want to appeal to voters. A lot of people are saying they are going to vote based on, first of all, my tribe person one. Two, let us punish this government. That is one of the most stupid decisions to make. Because I think that is what a lot of Nigerians are suffering from today. Let us just drive out this government, let us drive out that government. And then you are looking at the red flags and ignoring the red flags from this person you want to use to punish this other person. This one said Balabo Bolaba. And you know you can't afford basic education for yourself. A presidential candidate said he was going to privatize universities and create access to student loan. The one who said Balaba Bolabo. A lot of people were insulting him on Twitter. I want to make things hard. Another presidential candidate came up and said he's going to privatize universities. I look at his VP's university. The VP university is 3.5 million naira for a session. He said, look at the VP university, they don't go on strike. That
okay.
He said they don't go on strike. That is how he's going to run this. He's going to privatize our university. A lot of people are saying yes. And that same presidential candidate, when he was governor, said education is not for the poor. He increased the state university school fees then to a fee that as at then was not too affordable. A lot of persons drop out from Anambra State University then. These persons now, I think they are waiting for him in Anambra. We'll see the election result in Anambra. Anyway, like we were saying, you are insulting the president candidate who said he will create access to student loans if he's going to privatize the job to end ASUU strike. You said he said Bulabu, you insulted it. But when your own said it that he's going to privatize the institution, you started defending it. One said, other presidential candidates said he will remove subsidy gradually. One came out and said the first day in office is going to remove fuel subsidy. You are complaining for fuel price being 285 at the moment. That is not even the fault of this current presidency that are finally approved 185. That is because of we individuals who are not sympathetic with ourselves. One opened his mouth to say first day in office he will remove subsidy. The day he removed fuel subsidy, first day in office fuel will jump to about 600 naira. You didn't see anything bad about it. At 285 you are complaining. What will it be when it's now 600 naira? Because you are protesting. You want to use your vote to punish the government. Sorry to say, I'm not supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but I will never vote for him. I'm voting my own principal, Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. But when you look at the two best people in this race, to be honest, outside the health factor of these persons, these two persons, the APC and the NPP persons, I think honestly they are the best. But when you talk of economy, so what I'm trying to appeal to people, don't even vote Tinubu, is already old and sick.
Hold on. We're here to campaign or the value of the person. Please let me go.
What I'm saying is that do not cast your vote because you want to punish the government.
Okay.
Now coming back to the structure itself, 50% of the people coming that day are coming to ask who they share money. As they are on the queue, some go to say 2,000, some go say 3,000, some go say 4,000, some go say 5,000. All carry some kind of money, now they go vote for. In PDP elections, some people were saying that vote buying does not work in Edo State anymore. That look at the last governorship election, PDP was sharing 1,000 naira, APC was sharing 10,000 naira. The truth is, if PDP had not shared that 1,000 naira, they would have lost their unit. Okay. So if people will make up their mind to come and vote you, but you must still drop the meter, and that is what 50% of the voters are there for. Now, the other 30% who have been used to the game, as people are coming in from there, they are going to bring people for their house. Come, the INEC people don't come, come and vote to, come and do this. This na old person, go and vote to. This na this, go and do this. This na that, go and do this. Everybody has their role to play. Those 30% will cast that will bring their children to make sure their children vote. Have already forced their children to go and register their PVCs. Their family. I remember a woman who was telling me that, see, my house, I have 7 voters in my house. Myself, my husband, and 5 of my children have PVC. We are all voting your candidate. I said, thank you, ma. That kind of woman, that is a market woman. The woman sells fish at Ogida market. That woman, that day of election, we carry, like he has said, he said that market woman, the one that is using TikTok, Snapchat, TikTok video, always tweeting, we come with herself, vote around. That is if she does not vote on the logo, he or she does not vote on the logo. We go back home for but that market woman been voting since, she will tell you since 1979. I've been voting since, what's this man's name that was Shehu Shagari? Since Shehu Shagari time I've been voting, I've been doing this. They will come, cast their vote, go and canvass people, come and vote. You say this one now those people they gossip for the area. Those who may gossip in the area know her clique. She will go and gather her clique, bring them, they will come and vote. And then so at the end of the day, when election results is now coming out, some people will say, oh, they rigged the election. They doing also so and so office, they change result. Like my brother rightly said, like my boss here rightly said. Almost everything he said is true.
It's true. Imanala, you are a social media influencer, political analyst, and it's sorry they're using as an example. You come do this, so do that. We're trying to get something here. Will it be right to say, look, because of what we're going through, let's punish this particular political party by not voting for them? Or rather, will it be right to take a look at antecedents and what your prospect may be in the future for Nigeria?
I think voting because of punishing a political party or a set of people is actually very wrong, because it's a risk, a very high risk you're taking, because this person, now some people say we've known these devils to be like this, and they're going to vote for this person because of this flair of, okay, he's new, we don't know what he has to offer. You get kind of disregarding the party or something. I feel if we vote based on what these people have said so far, what they have to, what we've seen that they can offer, it will be better, because even we should not vote party, we should vote individual. What does this individual have to offer? What is this individual track record? I think for the presidency, presidential election, yes, there is a very popular candidate now in the internet space. And if we look closely at the track records and history and qualifications of other candidates for the presidency, we see that we have people that are even more qualified than this person that is gaining popularity. Attention. Yes, there are more people qualified, but because he already has this publicity, like well publicized, we hope for the best.
We hope for the best. All right, I will return after this break. We'll take a look at the price hike in fuel pump price, how it's going to affect the election. We're speaking at length, talking about the economy, and from what I can gather from what they've said, 50% may not vote based on what is happening right now. Yes. They may just vote on guy who is giving the highest amount of money. On return, we're going to throw more light on that and how the hike in fuel pump price will affect the election. Don't go away. Do stay with us.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is This Morning on ITV. We've spoken at length about the state of the nation ahead of the general elections. I've heard my analysts, they've spoken their mind, they've bared their mind. They dabbled into fuel situation, talking about the hike in fuel pump price. from 175 naira about to 185 naira per liter. But I gave, personal experience on what they really encountered at various filling stations within and outside Edo State. How come in Edo State is more exorbitant when compared to some filling stations in Delta State? How come the filling station in Abia State, the price is more exorbitant than that of Edo State? It varies from state to state, but with the official statement by the presidency saying right now they've pegged the pump price at 185 naira per liter. How is it going to affect elections? Emmanuel, I want to start off with you on this discussion. The increment in fuel pump price, take it up from there.
Like I said, Nigerians are already protesting, Nigerians are already angry. I think it was Festus Keyamo said using prices of commodities to campaign is rubbish. But I still remember they used the same thing when they were contesting, trying to come into power in 2015. And looking at the cost of fuel in 2015, it was around 87 naira. Currently, it's 185 naira. In all fairness, they've removed subsidy gradually, and it will keep increasing. But the average Nigerian, when people are campaigning, they use that one as a yardstick to discourage people and say, hey, fuel now is 85 naira, dollar is now 750 naira, this is that. So a lot of people are angry, a lot of people will vote against the sitting government of the day. Well, like I've said, what I will appeal is that you should be calculating when you want to vote against the government of the day. Now, I like the fact that Buhari won in 2015. I think that is why the voters turnout for this election, we can see already has increased. Because if there was a pattern we all know in Africa, incumbent doesn't lose election. So if in 2015 Jonathan had won, I'm very sure that now, and probably PDP had won again in 2019, whoever Jonathan had handed over to. Today, people will not want to come out there. They'll say anyhow they like and now they will still win. So we are taking a step in the right direction. We need to vote out a government that we think we don't trust and vote out a government we trust. But it should not be because it's going to affect badly, because a lot of people are going to vote against or for because of the fair price. But it should not be because of that. That should be the attitude to vote. Look at the candidates, look at their track record. If it's, like I said some time ago when somebody asked me who is the best candidate to vote for, I said, well, if you want to ask me my problem, I want, and I say I want quality education, that's my problem. I know two candidates there who, when they were governors, they gave quality education at very good price. Like in Lagos University was, I think, around 6,000 naira when Bola Ahmed Tinubu was governor. Kano State, Kwankwaso built the two universities in Kano and made them free. From primary to university level was all free, and there was no ASU strike.
Free of Kwankwaso.
Yes, when he was governor.
Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure this report?
Verifiable. You can go and verify.
I hope you're not trying to sell someone here.
No, I'm not trying to sell. I call the candidate first.
Okay.
Now we also have the election also. We are only looking at presidency. We are not looking at the senatorial candidates, the House of Rep candidate. Do not punish one party. Say you want to punish a party, and you know the most credible person in the House of Assembly, House of Rep, or Senate is one other party, and he said no because this party I'm not vote. I was talking to somebody some days ago. He told me that this is the party is voting from top to bottom. I said, are you looking at the other candidates in those places? He said yes. He knows it's one better party, but don't make up your mind. I said no. You are going to punish yourself. If your vote is going to make the difference, you punish yourself. If you don't have senators who can challenge the government of the day, if you don't, the presidency is supposed to be scared of the legislative arm. But in this situation, all of them are puppets. The executive, the legislative arm is not checkmating there. Even in Edo State, we only have about 10 House of Assembly members, all in one party. Anything the governor sends it to that place, or everybody will say, yeah, nobody can say me. It's not supposed to be so. Where we have vibrant youth coming into the picture, for example, we have in Egoye, for example, we have a youth. Then we have Destiny, a young man, also pulling his own weight.
Okay, now you mentioned Natasha, you mentioned Destiny, mentioned the youths. I would want us to mention names right now.
Okay.
They're good reasons for
youths
that.
Are coming up.
Yes. All right, now, Emanuela, for good reasons right now, you said people might choose to say, okay, fine, look at fear also right now. We're going to punish the government of the day. Take it up from there, because it's all about punishment using your PVC. Go ahead.
People might actually want to do that because the fuel price has affected many things. It has affected transportation, it has affected food, it has affected even workplaces, because Oga, 100, bros, money when you give us more, you stay by for you know reach anything. We 100 try yesterday night. And then when you're looking at how much you're making from the business and how much you're spending on fuel, you say, these people won't put us for this condition every year, all this kind of thing. And the truth is, it's not just, as everybody has rightly said before now, it's not just the problem of the presidency. There are different levels to government,
Yes.
which is from, even at the state level, there are things that the state governments could do to regulate these things. My dad was in Abuja recently, and he said in the main communities or cities in Abuja, they were selling fuel at 185. But when it comes to the outskirts of Abuja, they are selling fuel at 280, 285, depending on where you are at that particular point in time. So if there are people that checkmate these things, and it's one thing for you to put people to checkmate these things, it's also another thing for you to checkmate those people that you are putting in place to checkmate these things. Because these people may actually go there and collect bribe or go there and say another thing different from what you have actually sent them there to do. So when you are sending people there to checkmate these things, you also go and see if they're actually doing what you have sent them there to do. I think, and voting, we should not vote for punishment. We should vote for a better Nigeria. We know what is right. We know what is right and we know what is wrong. We know those that are qualified and those that are not at the different levels of government. And when they talk about this, our social media generation, if we really look at it, most of us on the internet space, we're not even looking at those other levels of government, which is the senatorial, the State House of Assembly, the House of Reps, the local government, and the rest. Everybody just focus on the presidential elections, the presidential candidates, forgetting that all these things, they work together. If at the state level they are not functioning properly, the presidency can only do so much, because each state, I feel, I don't know if I'm correct, each state have their own way of handling things. All they do is just report back to the federal government.
All right. But punishing, be like, this my PVC, I'm going to punish this party. Look at what is going on. I feel 185, but others are saying the way they want to sell it. That same aspect of punishment emanating from the hike in fuel pump price.
It's not going to affect in any.
You keep saying it's not going to affect. It's not going. People are saying that they're going to react based on this.
Well, I've told you it's not going to affect in the final terrain. Just maybe skirmishes 1 or 2. The reason it's not far-fetched is that if we decide to start saying just fuel, have you also spoken about the increment in accommodation? That some people that paid 250 last year, their landlord has increased to 350 this year. If you're going to talk about that, you're going to talk about school fees, increment in school fees. You're going to talk about that, you're going to talk about increment in just little food. I told you about the increment, the drastic increment in which is how you get it. You are also aware now that there's also drastic increment in our local that we do also. So various in all facets, one way or the other, even up to the woman Iyosapolo that says kind for us now. The one she says before for 50 naira, it's now 100 naira. So it's all various, even mineral that we go buy, even bread. It's everywhere. Just people are talking about fuel because fuel is just a everyday commodity. But I think if you also decide to carry your camera to the food section, also know that it's worse off in that area. But
they don't blame it on Buhari.
No, never. The truth must be told. What I also want.
But I'm saying is the administration.
No,
Buhari administration.
I told you what Buhari has done. That I said when they were piling those storerooms with food. Did anybody come to tell you? When he was also paying the money that has been held this government since 1999, did any government come to tell you? A few days to where before Wike said so, the governor of Delta State borrowed over 500 billion. And the money that he received is far than what he borrowed. And later, if my state government said their own is coming step by step in transit, but we didn't hear anything before. Are you getting? So the truth, we should not just keep talking about somewhere. All this, what you are saying, are political messages. People are just using it to spoil the entire system. I've told you the way voting pattern do emanate. What our party is also not doing is that we must tell ourselves the truth. We've never had it so bad in Edo because we have a legislative where most of my friends are. That is a one-way thing. Think of it if it's the balance 24 members, where you have the minority, the majority, even some parties. I'm not sure that we hear the governor putting a budget in around 4 in the evening, and before 6 o'clock it's passed into a law already. So there are people, because when last did you hear about people leaving their offices at Ring Road, as the case may be, to come to their constituency to speak? I have been shortchanged. I don't have a member in House of Assembly, both in my constituency, Oredo East and Oredo West, for going to 4 years now. So if me, I don't have someone to complain to, Madam, our big mommy, Madam Lagos, who has been a political mother to all of us, that started politics since 1999. Our house got burnt yesterday. If she had a representative at the House of Assembly, I'm sure that person would have visited her this morning to ask how EA is doing, to also pass the message back to the House before going to the government. There's a lacuna between the people and their representative. We don't have, and nobody's complaining about that. So are you not saying because of you want to punish, you also want the system to remain where you have a one-sided House of Assembly member come 2023? Then you are continuing your suffering. Are we also going to sit down and keep quiet when we know that our representative in Oredo has been extremely busy with political tombabout as we speak for the very just now? There's a lacuna between him and us that is being presented. Are you not saying because we want to punish, we should also let that space remain? As we speak for the very just, and the last time I heard my senator speaking was about close to a year or more than ago. I just say because you want to punish, you want to also give it to another person that will go there and sit and roll on the chair the way I'm rolling now. So if we don't also get it right from the bottom, are we going to keep quiet when there's supposed to be a elected local government? We are supposed to have a councillor. For the past 6 years now, I don't have one. Who I will tell that my brother come or my sister come. The road, Bello Sage extension that leads to forestry easily accessible to my dad's house. As we speak, if it was graded, we can pass it. Nobody to speak to. Are you telling me because we want to be quiet, we don't know that there's a lacuna in that place? So our people must know what I want to do. If we had a serviceable and a very aggressive House of Assembly, I'm not sure the government will wake up on a Wednesday after ESCO to say there's a Lazar officer, a new name for another issue of what court has said. There's nothing like that. Just appoint somebody on a Monday to say, go and liaise with me between here. What is the excess of the work of the head of that organ, of that local government? If there was a House of Assembly, I'm not sure he's supposed to pass it through there.
We'll talk about that later.
So no, yes, I'm telling you. If our people keep quiet again, yes, to allow themselves because you want to punish and you quiet, this is where we are today. Because we want to punish Adams Oshomole for what he said. Today we are now shouting. Those that shouted talk bad, we must tell ourselves the truth until we get it right.
Put my foot down. Thank you. Hold on now. Hold on, calm down, watch your emotions. So be like, if we not punish, what do we gain? That's what they're going to say. Because they're saying that they're going to do this to show to the persons in charge that they are not happy with the situation. But you've heard all of them. If you use emotions to go out there to it because you want to punish this or punish that for this, for that, you might just get it wrong. Look at these persons. Look at these personalities. Go beyond party. What have they done before? What can they do now? Everything is there. Just go Google to see the antecedents. So, what are you waiting for? Gentlemen, 30 seconds is because our time is up. What advice do you have for electorates and, of course, the candidates as the election is fast approaching? I'm going to start off with you, Emanuela. 30 seconds.
Okay, for the electorates, I'm going to say be sure you know who and why you are voting for the person that you are going to be voting for. If you don't have a PVC and you've registered, please go and collect it and make sure you participate. For those that were unable to register and you're of age to participate in electoral processes, there are other things you can do on that day to make sure that the election goes free and fair where you your respective areas. Then for the candidates, please don't say what you cannot do. Recently, almost all of them are dropping manifestos and the rest, and I hope that in time to come, we'll be able to hold you guys by your words and these things that you have given us to.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Emmanuel? 30 seconds.
Oh, what I have to say basically is this. Nigerians should focus more on the members going to the Senate, the House of Rep, and the State House of Assembly, more than just the executive. Because your senatorial person, your senatorial representative, the House of Rep representative, or your House of Assembly representative, you can call them back if they are not doing their job well at any time. So, and they are supposed to be the one to speak for you to make sure the executive is doing their job. If you have a legislative arm that is doing their job, no executive can misbehave. So go there, cast, you look at this person's record, not only presidency or state governor for states that have governorship election coming up too. Look at those persons, their track record, and don't vote because of emotion. Vote because of do not ignore red flags. Do not ignore red flags. 4 years long ago.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel.
To vote to take. But don't still vote your conscience.
Come. Emmanuel, anyway, we'll talk about that later. How about briefly, 30 seconds?
Well, yeah, you should know that when they give you money and you take, we all have conscience. It is better to say if they give you money, don't take. Again, we have conscience. Emmanuel has told
it is better, but
not to take. It's better not to take. You have conscience. If I give you money now, we sing.
Yes.
Your look towards me will change. Same if you give to me, we should not shy away from it. It's better not to take. Don't pretend to say.
Are you not saying that they will not take?
No, I'm telling you.
No, don't tell me. Tell them.
I know. I'm telling you. I said
yes.
It is better not to take because we all have conscience. If we take, our conscience will prick us to say, why will you want to? So it is better not to listen. Have a deaf ear towards it. But if you want to take and do whatever you want to do. It all depends on you because if you are suffering it, I'm also not suffering it. We should not joke with the individuality. I've told you of the lacuna we have in the State of Assembly. I have not had a representative for the very just for a very long time. And I know the pains I'm passing through. My younger sister, I'm looking for a job for her. These are things that I easily call my representative to do, to say, help me with a referee letter,
yes.
a reference letter on this issue. Now I'm lacking on those things. These are my civic responsibilities. That's the reason why I voted for somebody. And today, because the person was not cleared by the government, today their space is vacant. Right, so we must have said it to the electorate. Don't talk much. Go to the field and act right. Right. Also know if you don't know how to vote, ask questions on how to vote. That is the reason why you see the security there. That is why you have your agents there. Tell your agent, come and show me. I don't know it. Don't pretend to know what you don't know and let vote. Beat the normal vote.
Thank you so much, gentlemen and lady. I appreciate the wonderful analysis, the opinions. Yes, it has nothing to do with ITV. But if you can gather sense from what they've said, they went topical. They talked about situation, talked about issue, gave you life experience on how to really go about this election. Is it about I'm going to punish this party for what they are doing? Or are you going to look at individual antecedents? We have vibrant youths already gunning for this position. Talking about the Senate, House of Rep, House of Assembly, they are all there. You know, pick one that will represent you. Baraya, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Emmanuel, thank you a lot. And of course, Emmanuel, thank you so much. Well, we'll do it again next week, Sunday, God willing. Bye for now.